Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. Please take this moment now with helping me. Click here, subscribe. Next, click this bell. Next, ensure to click all. This helps you receive a notification when I posted my next videos. Next, click this thumbs up button after every time you watch my video. This pushes it up in the engagement ratings and means it will be suggested to more people, therefore is likely to get more views to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. I also have a Patreon page. Click show more. Scroll down. This link here, my Patreon, click on it. Select the membership. With this membership, you'll get access to all this information. Very good content. Sunday, May 30th. It's the end of the month, so we'll look at the monthly charts to review or recap all the markets. Look at the cash equity indexes first, the SPX. We made a higher high, higher low, and an all-time high for the S&P 500 stock market, stock index. The trend is up. This is a momentum up. It's bullish. That's a good thing. The NASDAQ 100, symbol November, Delta, X-ray. It made a lower low, lower high, closing back inside the prior month. It did not make a new high. It's in a consolidation era. So it's weaker than the S&P 500. This index, the NASDAQ 100, is inside. It's one of the indexes inside the S&P 500. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, all-time new high, higher low than the prior month. The trend is up. This is a momentum to the upside. The Russell 2000, lower low, lower high. It's in a consolidation. This index is not part of the S&P 500, where the first two I showed you for the NASDAQ 100 and Dow are. This is the Dow Transports. It's part of the S&P 500. Higher high, higher low, all-time new high, momentum to the upside. It's trending. That's good. The Dow Utilities, also part of the S&P 500. It made an inside candle for the month. That means the high and low of this month did not go above or below the prior month. Now it's in consolidation. We also are below the high of last year. So zooming into each of these indexes, you look at it, determine again which ones are trending, who's in consolidation. I'll say again, the S&P 500 is trending up, momentum to the upside. The NASDAQ 100 for the month is not. The Dow Jones for the month is trending. The Russell 2000 is not trending. The Dow Transports is trending to the upside, and the Dow Utilities is not. Yeah. So half of them are trending. The other half are in consolidation. Less stocks are making new highs. So if your stock is not outperforming these trending indexes, consider to get out of that stock and be a winner. Next, let's look at the yields and bonds. They have a huge effect across the board on all markets. We're looking at the 30-year yield, symbol Tango Yankee X-ray. Made a red candle for the month, lower low, also made a high, but it closed inside the prior candle. And it's in a consolidation, just shy of the all-time high for the year. And to clarify, there's much media that's putting disinformation intentionally. Some said we're at all-time highs right now. Yeah, we are not at all-time highs for this year, nor have been at the all-time highs for prior years. So this administration right now has only been here for less than a year, and we are not the all-time highs. And the prior administration, here was the all-time high. My numbers are not lying. These are factual numbers here. Looking at the 10-year Treasury, red candle for the month, lower low, lower high than the prior month. It's in consolidation. We're below the high of last year and below the high of 2000. 18. So we're way off the high still. Yep. And these have the effect of, let's go to the 5-year. Here's the 5-year. Foxtrot Victor X-ray. Lower low, lower high than the prior month. So it's trending down right now. And it's still in this consolidation. Below the high of last year. And below the high of 2018. So these are yields, and these yields represent interest rates. So the higher they are, the higher the interest rates. So we are not at the all-time lows, which was last year, and we are not at the highs from the prior administration. Shame that much business media or talking heads and stations choose to spread misinformation. Now we're looking at the bonds. The bonds and the notes trade inverse from the yields. So here we are right now in a consolidation. This green horizontal line is a demand zone, and it's holding there right now. But if yields go higher, one would expect this to break lower. So the trade here is you go short if you're bearish here on these bonds. The 10-year Treasury note is also in a consolidation. And the 5-year note is also in consolidation. Difference between these bonds and notes is the duration and the liquidity. The 30-year has higher liquidity than the 10 and the 5. And currently, you can see who's moving more effectively or who's trending and who's in consolidation. Yeah. So certain ones will react faster to certain binary events. Binary events are these expected news releases from the government or from businesses. And another thing is the yields. When the yields interest rates go higher, they typically affect the positive for the banks, the utility companies. That could go good and bad for them. Bad is because people might say they'll raise more money investing in these bonds or notes instead of buying dividend paying stocks like the utilities. But the utilities benefit too with lower borrowing cost. And the Russell 2000 small cap stocks, they get hurt harder when the interest rates go higher because they're much more dependent on borrowing money. Looking at the US dollar index at a lower low, lower high in the prior month. We are not at all-time low for this year yet. That's here. We're very close. We are lower, below the high of last year and below the high of 2017. So when people say the dollar is at the all-time low, now we are not for this year, nor for this year back here in 2018. So again, intentionally people are putting misinformation out there. And if you follow those news sources, I highly recommend you turn around and run away from them fast. They're helping you miss good opportunities for trading. And Bitcoin, huge sell-off this month. Yeah, lower low, lower high. Shame for that. A lot of wealthy people say cryptocurrencies are to buy here, and they've been going lower and lower. They have their own alternative motive. I highly recommend you don't follow those people neither. Cryptocurrencies do go down, and they fall hard. Look at the currencies now. These are the currency pairs against the US dollar. These are in the futures market. The euro, higher high, higher low than last month against the US dollar. It has not taken out the high this year yet. Japanese yen, 2 inside candles back to back. And we're much closer to the low of the year than the high. Again, 3 safe haven currencies are the US dollar, Japanese yen, and Swiss franc. So we have the US dollar declining and Japanese yen declining. Those are 2 safe haven currencies declining. The British pound, we were just shy of the all-time high, but we did take out the high of last month. Higher high, higher low. So consolidation. It's bullish. It's been bullish since last year. Canadian dollar, all-time high, strong like bull, outstanding. Good job if you've been taking those trades I've been mentioning for the past weeks and months. And last year I've been mentioning this. Which currencies? The Swiss franc safe haven currency. And look, it's reversed. It's trending higher than the Japanese yen and US dollar. So you can see people choose a safe haven currency. It is the Swiss franc right now. But we are not at the high for the year. But it did make a higher high, higher low. And the Australian dollar made a higher high, higher low, closed back inside the range last month. It's in a huge consolidation. The prior trend, consolidation breakout. So it's still got a bullish bias on this bigger trend. But the current situation is it's in consolidation. There we go with currencies. Let's go on to commodities. First, we'll look at the energy and metals. Fossil fuel, crude oil, dirty fossil fuel. We are not at the all-time highs. That was 2 months ago, but currently made a higher high, higher low the last month, and we're in acceleration. So we're near the all-time high for this year, but we're not at the high, nor ever the all-time high for the past several years. Prior administration, here was the all-time high. So that was 2018. So we are not at the all-time high from the prior administration. Again, a lot of misinformation being told out there. Natural gas, higher high, higher low than the prior month, but we are not at the all-time high of this year, nor the all-time high of last year. See these yellow horizontal lines? And here is the all-time high back in 2018. We are not that all-time high. And these are commodities, and these are fossil fuel commodities. They are dirty. There's no healthy benefit for them. They're just cheap. They're a cheaper energy source, and they're dirty, toxic. Now we're looking at metals, gold, higher high, higher low, strong like bull, big strong up month. Here's the high for the year. We haven't taken it out there yet. And the higher high was last year. I shared many trade ideas many times this past month and month before about trade ideas. Bullish, gold. Good job if you've been taking those trades. Silver, also strong like bull, breaking out last month. We haven't taken out the high this year yet. Platinum, here's the high for this year, the yellow horizontal line, and a lot of sell-offs. See the bodies near the middle to low and tails on the top. Made a higher high, higher low the last month, closing back inside this prior month. And copper, strong, huge uptrend, all-time high, strong trend to the upside momentum. Copper's huge use for industrial use. Yep, remember that. Appliances, electronics, a lot of uses for copper. Commodities, looking at the corn, higher high, higher low, all-time high for the year. Wheat futures, inside candle for the prior month, just shy of the all-time high of last month. Huge trading range the past 2 months. Soy futures, higher high, higher low, all-time high, the momentum's to the upside. And lumber, record high. But a big sell-off at the end of this month too. Yeah, still a huge trading range. Okay, now let's look at the livestock. Lower low, lower high than last month. Broke below this consolidation, but closing back in it. But we are not at the high this year, nor last year, nor back here from 2017. And cattle futures, huge trading range, all-time high for this year. Still haven't taken out the high from back in 2018, nor we have taken out the high of 2017. But interesting, huge trading range up here. And this is a engulfing candle, this body engulfed all these other candles. So next month, we may see a new trend to break out to the upside or downside. And lean hog, all-time new high. Thank you, as always, for spending just a little bit of your time with me. Let me know what you thought about this video, and please let me know what you want to see next. If you got value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel. By going below and clicking on my PayPal link, you can leave a small tip. If you don't want to share financial support, no problem. Just click the like and subscribe.